By the time the seasons of 90 Day Fiance end, a lot of fans are left feeling pretty unsatisfied. So today I'm going to go over couples we wanted to see more of on 90 Day Fiance. Welcome back to Enchant Films. Let's get into the video. Number 10, Mohammed and Danielle. Before Mohammed and Danielle joined in the next season, the show wasn't half as dramatic and entertaining to watch. This absurd couple was doomed from the start. There was clearly no love between them. Mohammed probably wanted to migrate to the States, while Danielle needed someone to bully. This couple set the drama standard for the upcoming seasons really high. It was hard to watch at times, but we couldn't look away. Their segments were the highlight of every episode. After all, they were one of the strangest couples to have ever been featured on 90 Day Fiance.
You solved the problem with acting weird like that? No, it's not right. You can't be upset and you don't do that. You can say, why?
9, Narcia and Lobo. Some couples might have a compelling story to tell, but for some reason, fans just didn't feel invested in Narcia and Lobo's love story. Most remember them because they had one of the most explosive fights in the show. Who doesn't remember Narcia slapping her fiance with ice cream? Narcia essentially said that she is settling for him because she is afraid she will end up alone. Meanwhile, she is setting herself up for failure. Lobo doesn't even try to hide the fact that he is browsing for dating apps.
At that time, he was living in Vietnam.
Give me that good luck kiss first.
Mwah.
Wow. Thank y'all.
Number 8, Mark and Nikki. While Mark is arguably the creepiest dude in the history of 90 Day Fiance, but we all wanted to know more about this weird match and make sure Nikki will be alright. Upon arriving in the States, Nikki realized that Mark had been married to a Filipino woman before, but she had died. The weird story never got the attention it deserved, and we certainly wanted to understand these two lovebirds better.
A free dating site. Nikki lives on the outskirts of Cebu City in the Philippines, which is where my ex-wife is from. Nikki.
Number 7, Evelyn and David. If we could, we would skip the story of the 27-year-old David from Spain and 18-year-old Evelyn from New Hampshire. They might have been very good on the eyes, as Evelyn's Aunt Ginger put it, but we just weren't feeling their arc. They didn't seem to have anything in common, not even a flair for the dramatic like some other, more toxic couples do. Evelyn didn't really seem to care about David, she only liked the idea of getting married. While we didn't want to watch this couple, there were a few gems there. Let's not forget how David told Evelyn that there is such a thing as a European dream, and that it was called quality of life.
Somebody's next to you, so just hold on. I'm shaking.
Number 6, wanted to see more Alan and Curlyam. We met Curlyam and Alan all the way back in season 1. They are one of the few truly successful couples that have kids of their own by now. Fans of the show were swooning over Curlyam, the gorgeous Brazilian teenager who wanted to marry Alan, a 28-year-old Mormon. As the seasons progressed, the featured couples became increasingly ridiculous. These two seemed to have really liked each other, and we loved watching a realistic love story unfold in front of our eyes.
With somebody all the time.
I agree with him, 100%.
I met Curlyam when I was doing a church mission. 8 years later.
Number 5, Libby and Andre. Libby and her Moldovan sweetheart were getting on our nerves from the get-go. Andre wants to come across as a confident alpha male, but he just manages to look insecure and petty. Meanwhile, Libby is spoiled and ungrateful. She also tends to brush off Andre's inappropriate behavior as a consequence of cultural differences, but none of Andre's family members are as rude as he is. The most infuriating part about this couple is Libby's family. They act as if they are better than Andre simply because they are from the States. Number 4, Noon and Kyle. Noon and Kyle are such a wholesome couple. He is clearly crazy about her and really respects her, which is more than we can say about how most Americans treat their foreign sweethearts. When he picked her up at the airport, he cried genuine tears when they were reunited, and he called her my family when they got married. Let's not forget about all the comments we had enduring dialogue they shared. When she came into his room for the first time, she told him that he's a little bit dirty, only to realize that he had cleaned the room the best he could prior to her arrival. No fighting, no drama, just pure affection. Number 3, Miranda and Alexi. While some things in the show come across as blatantly fake, Miranda and Alexi seem like a very realistic couple. There was no questioning they loved each other and respected each other's culture. Perhaps it's a result of how seamless their journey had been that we weren't really interested in their story. The main arc was Loren's Tourette's syndrome and how upset she was about the prospect of passing it down to her children. Tragic though it was, viewers weren't too keen on having the same idea constantly reiterated. Number 2, Anfisa and Jorge. Anfisa and Jorge were an absolute train wreck. Either we loved them or hated them, but we all agreed we couldn't wait to see where their story would go. The Russian girl came to the States under the condition that Jorge would give her anything she wants, which turned out to be a lie. In return, Anfisa started abusing Jorge and said some pretty iconic things in the process. Their relationship was so abusive that it was truly hard to watch at times, but then again, this is the worst couple most people think of first when they think of 90 Day Fiance. Number 1, Darcy and Jesse. When we first met Darcy's young man from the Netherlands, we were excited. After all, there hasn't been a love interest from the Netherlands featured on the show before. First impressions can be misleading though. And we realized that straight away with these two. Darcy was hungry for love and chose to date a manipulative man who made it seem as if he were the victim, while he was the one doing all the abusing. Darcy really should have known better than to date someone this unstable just because he is relatively handsome. At least she turned out to be a good mother to her daughters, which is something we definitely can't say about Nicole, who always prioritized Azan over her children. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.